Hey there, hope you're all doing well. I recently received a question on School of the Ascending's Instagram inquiring about how to energetically cord cut. Before we can dive into the conversation of cord cutting, which is basically removing an attachment or a cord that has the ability to be removed or cut due to toxicity or a journey, person, situation, experience no longer serving you, even a memory, we have to first identify a few things. The first is that any tool or healing modality used by any reader that you trust, you must also discern whether this is an exercise that you feel they will be able to properly assist you with. If you choose not to, try this cord cutting exercise on your own. So discernment is key. It's also important to recognize that oftentimes these kind of methods, these tools are not necessarily permanent fixes. They are not band-aids, but they can be temporary depending on the nature of the cord connection. Now, with anything that you choose to pursue in terms of your own healing, it's important to recognize that you too do have the power to heal yourself just as much as any certified reader. And the new paradigm of healing is urging us to trust in our ability and our own sense of self-awareness and discernment in this practice, recognizing that, okay, if once you have tried this method and you are wanting to try again and it has not worked for you the first time, then you may have a better opportunity with a practitioner, only if that is what you're being guided to do. So I just want to preface that this exercise is something that anyone can do. It's something that you can do once a month. It's something that you can do every night before you go to bed. And again, it's simply just removing attachments or energetic cords and ley lines that connect us to people, places, things that just not are serving us. Okay, so let's dive into a little bit more of the mechanics of this energetic cord that I've been talking about. Every single human being, the real human soul, not the NPCs, not the reptilians, although they might have their own form of this to some degree due to the nature of creation, but all humans, real souls, have an energetic ley line cord that connects us. It's basically proven whenever you meet a stranger in a public place and a conversation sparks, and then you soon find out that there's a similarity between you and that person. Why is that? Because you're always in close proximity with your own alignment. So who you are being and who you surround yourself with by default in physical manifestation and creation of this earth experience, this 3D density, is that you will bring about the energy that you are surrounded with, the energy that you embody. So with the case of all mankind, we are each connected like the points of a spider web. Additionally, if you've ever been on an international flight or a domestic flight that's had a TV that's shown on your seat screen, the line connecting the destination that you're departing from the destination that you're arriving at, sometimes you'll see that line. It's kind of like an energetic ley line in that aspect. So those kind of cords are natural energetic ley lines. Ley lines is the word that my guides use with me, that they're channeling to me as between each human based on, again, energy and your own proximity to your own alignment. What are you believing, thinking, and what have you experienced for those people to come around you, okay? But energetic cord cutting is sort of like a cord that's connecting to people. Sometimes it's a cord that's linked intentionally or unintentionally, depending on the nature of the scenario or situation with which you're trying to cut the cord from. So in the case of the cord that you're trying to cut here, we have to recognize some universal laws that are in place. Now, other readers may have different opinions around this based on what they've learned. So I encourage you, after hearing this part, to discern what you're being guided to do and what resonates with you. Understand that your belief and what you ask for from the divine has a high probability of actually being honored if it is something that is meant to be separated or detached from you. So There are certain cords that are connecting us with those who are linked to our fate. People we are fated to meet, for example, people who are fated to be in our lives. And this is mostly due to certain fated soul agreements. You can think of it like contracts. However, it's more so like a loose agreement in the sense that if something really is not serving you, then you will be guided to leave from that. However, fated cord connections cannot necessarily be permanently cut. And this is where some people might have different opinions, because there's some cords that have been connected due to, for example, we go to a certain place, let's say the grocery store, there's a really off energy, there's attachments and entities there, there's a cord that connects with our own auric field. Even if you have done the protection, sometimes that can happen depending on what measures are taken or what is exactly there. So those are cords that you can cut. There's an attachment that's trying to link to your energy. There's no reason for it to. You can cut it, okay? But there are certain things like agreements between other souls, other human souls that are meant to be in your life or are meant to be in your life for a specific reason, season, or a lifetime, where those kind of cords might not always be able to be cut, in the sense that if any of these people are meant to return in your future, then this exercise will not be a permanent fix. So it's important to remember that any fated experiences, connections, people in our lives, those kind of cords can't be permanently cut unless it is meant for you to meet someone else. It is meant for you to have someone else in your life. But there are other cords with which you can cut. It's the same as, for example, saging your house every day, clearing the energy in your house through incantation. And it is important to also consider that using more than one modality is actually really beneficial, but you only really need your words. And I always say this on School of the Ascending's content page, in my own personal pages. Our words are spells, and that's why it's called spelling. So the incantation is just as powerful. However, if you need to sage up, if you need to do a specific prayer, if you need to cord cut, you can take these measures, and there's nothing wrong with that. The more, actually, the better. So now that we've gotten a little bit of the soul talk part of this out of the way, and we've cleared the fact that the discernment part is important. It's important to recognize this is not a permanent fix. It's important to recognize that certain fated connections will return if they're meant to, if there's an agreement in place, if that is the highest good for you from the divine source creator through your higher self. So there are certain universal laws we have to adhere to, but in all, if something is toxic to you, if it's not serving you, if you feel this guidance to remove the cord, then it is encouraged to pursue that opportunity, okay? So with that being said, when it comes to cord cutting, one of the first things that we must do is clear our energy. And you can use physical tools for this. I mentioned sage earlier. Whatever tool or method you use to clear your energy that resonates with you, this is the part and the time when you want to do that. After clearing your energy, both your physical space and your actual auric field, your body, your vessel, it's important to include an intention piece around this. What is your intention with cutting this energetic cord between you and another, you and a memory, you and a situation, you and XYZ? Insert what your intention is and with whom, and get really clear on that. You can write it down if that's something that you prefer. Having it written down can be very helpful with really putting the pen to paper, right? Written in stone, as I'm hearing in the moment, with this intention. You can think of it in your head, whatever works for you, but it is very important to get clear and serious, really, on your intention. What are you trying to get rid of? And make it known now. The third aspect of cord cutting, this is very important, you guys. And this is where a lot of people don't trust in the process of their intuitive gifts and what God, our divine source creator, has gifted all of us the ability to achieve. Our CIA and FBI agents, many of them are aware of the power of this, but it's visualization. We've seen people share their testimonies around visualization, the power of visualization, the power of vision boards. So this part is actually very important because it allows you to be open and receptive In other words, to the third eye and crown chakra energies of connecting with higher source beings. If you don't believe you have the possibility, or that no one else has the possibility or capability to connect with angelic beings, connect with your higher self, with your guides, then this energy cord cutting is not going to work. So you must believe in the visualization piece. You want to make sure that you're obviously comfortable, your body's in a relaxed state, and that you're mentally prepared to enter almost this sort of deep, I'm hearing regression or self-hypnosis of what you're about to experience next, which is envisioning yourself in a vast area of green land. Really, this part is optional. You can envision yourself anywhere in the world, but what helps me is envisioning earth, nature, energy around me, purely open lands of just grass. I then recommend you visualize the person, the situation, or the memory. If it's a memory or a situation that you're trying to cut an attachment or energy cord from, just envision that memory or situation is basically enclosed in sort of like an orb of light. After having your eyes closed, envisioning the situation, the memory, or the person that you're trying to cut the cord from in front of you in this open space or whatever location you've chosen, this is when you call upon the archangels, the angelic beings, any beings really of unconditional love and light 5D and above, God, divine source, creator, your spirit team, and your higher self, and basically whomever that you connect with on a higher dimensional level, because we all have different sort of ascended masters and spiritual sort of people in the realm that are helping and serving the creator for us on our ascension journeys, right? So our evolution on the earth. So really, whomever is your spirit team that's here to support your evolution is whom you can call to assist. I normally like to use any of the angels. I call upon Archangel Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Sandalphon, any of the angels that resonate with you, or any unconditional love and light being to come down and assist in this cord cutting energetic release process. So there's really not a perfect way to phrase it. You just want to make sure you're as clear as possible. Call upon your spirit team, as I mentioned, as an example, divine source, creator, God, Lord of all the worlds. I always add it with Allah. I like to say it in Arabic as well. And then I would go on to say Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, and any beings of unconditional love and light, 5D and above, as well as my higher self. Please assist me to cut this cord between me and this person that is no longer serving my evolution and my journey at this time. Please remove any attachments of energy that does not serve me, that's been sent toward me, whether intentional or unintentional. I ask that this cord be returned to sender for it to be properly transmuted, and or returned to you, God, divine source, creator, to transmute those energies into the light. So again, there's no perfect way to say it. You just go with what works for you. Next, visualize the higher unconditional love and light beings coming through, whoever it is, if it's one specific being like an archangel, to come and you see them physically cut the cord. Yes, you visualize them actually cutting the cord. Because what is this doing on so many levels? On the physical level, it's telling your brain that something is happening, even if your brain doesn't know that it has happened or not. Okay, so by putting this visualization out there, it's setting a stage in motion for your brain. Energetically, by visualizing it, you're putting that in a specific timeline. You're putting that in your reality to actually occur. In addition to that, this also sets the stage for these unconditional love and light beings to actually know and trust that you're open to, due to the visualization part, receiving this energy cord cutting, and open to trusting that it is going to happen for you again, only if this is a connection that is meant to be severed, or a memory or situation that is no longer serving your evolution. And we've got to remember, the memory might always stick. The situation might have already happened, obviously, so it might already stick in your reality, but it's going to feel like a past life of yours, something that's just not resonating with you. So you can try this exercise, as I mentioned earlier, every single night before bed, just calling all energies that just genuinely don't serve you to leave and be sent back to sender or to the light. You can ask a practitioner to do this. You can do more research on this, which is what I would encourage. But just remember, you have the power, you're always supported, and you are loved. Let me know if you end up trying this cord cutting exercise. If anything I mentioned in this video benefited or added value for you, be sure to share this post. And if you've tried cord cutting before in the past, what was your experience like? If you've done it for a client, for others, or for yourself, what came through for you in that practice? Have you heard of cord cutting before? Do you believe it works? Let your light fam know in the comments below. And until next time, collective, go and grow.